up, you guys? The Curious Owl here, and today I'm bringing you guys my March TBR in a very new space. So as you guys can see, this is the new office that we are set up in the apartment that Robert and I have. Currently, it is not done up at all. I will be taking care of this later on the day that I'm filming this, but I wanted to at least get my TBR out of the way because Robert has to go to work soon, and he is actually going to be picking part of my TBR for this month. So I have a few books and stuff that I want to read this month besides them, but he is picking like some of the really big stuff that I want to try to get through on my TBR shelf this month. So Robert did not want to be on film, but he will be talking throughout part of it. So say hello, Robert.
Oh.
What is it that you specifically want me to read in the month of March?
Game of Thrones 2, Clash of Kings.
Okay, which is good because I don't have the physical books. I gave the books back to my dad because they were his, but I do have the audiobook for that, so I can get through that pretty easily until I can get Robert's copies when they are brought up to the apartment. Is there anything else you want me to try to read this month?
No, just that.
Just that? Okay. But I will have him do the random TBR pick for the month, so at least that way he technically has 2 books in my TBR that he gets to pick.
Smoke in the Sun.
Oh, Smoke in the Sun by Renee Ahdieh. Okay, so this is the second book in the Flame in the Mist duology. It just came out in 2018, I believe. So thank you to Robert for picking out 2 of the books that I will be reading, and he's gonna go enjoy his lunch now. So say goodbye, Robert.
Bye.
So those are the first 2 books I will try to get throughout this month. I already have, like I said, a Clash of Kings on audiobook, so that should be pretty easy. And then that actually will probably be the best way for me to go about it, considering that with a Game of Thrones I started doing that, and then later on started reading the physical copy with it. So I'm pretty excited for that, and I'm excited to read Smoke in the Sun. That is one that I have been wanting to get to for a while since I think it came out, and I'm very excited because I did like Flame in the Mist a lot, but it wasn't like as great as I wanted it to be, so I'm hoping that the second book will be much better. So as far as my other books for this month, I have 2 NetGalley arcs. I will be posting my reviews for those on the days of those released books, but one of them is To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. I've been seeing this all over Instagram recently, and the book comes out on March 19th, so I'm going to try to get that one done as quick as I can because that is coming up so quickly and I want to get my review out as soon as possible. The second NetGalley arc is going to be Descendant of the Crane by Joan Hay, I believe, and that is actually coming out on April 2nd, but because it is at the beginning of April, I wanted to try to get it done early on in March and then be able to post my thoughts on April 2nd and not have to worry about it. Along with that, I also still have my February TBR pick, which was Coral and Bone by Tiffany Dwan, that I am trying to get through. I'm still working through it at this point because unfortunately for me right now, it's not really that great. The beginning was very weird and kind of fast-paced to the point where I had no clue what was going on. I'm going to try to finish it quickly so that I can get to Best the Boys soon. But it's one of those books where I'm feeling like I'm trudging through it at this point and I don't really see a point in continuing it, but I do want to review it for my channel at least, so I still kind of want to read it. Now getting into my audiobook for the month. So besides the audiobook for A Clash of Kings, I will be listening to The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. Now, I have not read any Maggie Stiefvater books at this point, and The Scorpio Kings was the first book that I recognized that I had wanted to read on Overdrive, so I got it, and I'm pretty excited to get it started with it because it's a fairly short book. It's only about 12 hours long, which is pretty short compared to a lot of the other ones I've read in the past that are more like 14-15 hour books for YA. So I'm pretty excited, but I don't really know a lot going into it, and from what I know, that's kind of a book where you kind of have to go blind into it because there's just no other way to really go into it. And finally, the last book I am going to be trying to read in March is going to be starting a new reread series. So as you guys may know, I had worked through the Harry Potter series at the end of 2017 into 2018, and then over the course of 2018, I worked through the Beautiful Creatures series, going through all the novellas and the spin-off novels and everything, and finished that up at the end of 2018. I decided to take a couple months off from doing reread series so that I could get through some other books, and with the Bibliothon happening and with Blackathon, the BookTube games, and Contemporary-a-thon happening in February, it just was not going to be a great idea for me to get through any of the other books I wanted to reread. So since March is now kind of a more open month before April when I start doing the House Cupathon, which I will be having a video announcement for towards the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. I decided that I was going to get through my next reread series, which is going to be The Morganville Vampires by Rachel Caine. Morganville Vampires is a YA, or maybe even new adult, I'm not quite sure, vampire urban fantasy placed in the city of Morganville, Texas, where essentially we follow this girl named Claire Danvers, who's about 16 years old, and moves to Morganville from her hometown, which is about 2 hours outside of that, and finds out that the town that she's in is actually pretty much run entirely by a vampire clan. It is probably one of my most favorite vampire series of all time. I started reading this, I think, my freshman year of high school with my grandmother, of all people. We somehow, I don't even really remember how, but we somehow got involved with the story and had read the entirety of the series together, which is almost like 20 books, I think. And it was absolutely wonderful from beginning to end. I remember reading the last book, I think my senior year of high school, and absolutely loving the ending of it, but also being sad that it was over because I'd read so much of the series and I just fell in love with it. So this is actually a bind-up of the first two stories, Glass Houses and Dead Girls Dance, but I will be reading the first one out of here, Glass Houses, for March, and if I have time, maybe get through some of Dead Girls Dance, but if not, I will reserve it for April. Glass Houses is basically the beginning of the story where we find out about Claire, and she basically meets the other three main characters of the story, Michael, Shane, and Eve, who are all about 18 to 19 years old, and Claire basically finds out about the town being run by vampires and starts to understand a little bit about what is going on within this town and some of the kind of more, not political aspects of it, but kind of the inner workings of the town and why things are the way they are, and may get into a little bit of trouble here and there. But there you guys go, those are all of the books I plan on reading in March. Again, by the next time I film, I will be in front of a really great new space. I am going to be taking the entire day to get this space ready so that I can start doing my filming and stuff. So if my videos do not come out for at least another week, I'm sorry about that. It's just going to be a really crazy month considering that I just moved here and we're still trying to get stuff figured out. So anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video and are excited for my new chapter in this new place and are excited to see how I do with the books for this month, please do give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an outlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!